We're looking at section B, which is 24 feet wide from end to end. And the problem with section B is it was not constructed in thirds, as some of the top sections were C and D. Well, specifically section C was the only section constructed in thirds by way of lining up the seams. Simply put, we're going to have to cut this. And so you can see the third mark for this section would be somewhere around here, and there's no panel seam. Instead, the panel seam is right here in the middle. So to compensate for this, we're going to lay this down, and I'm explaining this on video so we can use this as a guide for reconstruction. I've already marked what will be the thirds. You have B1, B2, and B3. And what's going to happen is I'm going to remove this top plate right here. This top plate is a brace that ties all of these sections together for stability, and I'm simply going to remove it. You'll notice when I do that, there's a gap here between this spacer board and the main frame in the center section here. The same thing occurs over here. You see a space in the spacer board between the main frame. That's to our advantage. After I remove this board, I'm going to take a knife, and you can see I've already marked it with this black line, and I'm going to score right through here and remove these screws here, so this will disconnect and stay with section B3. And once I run this score all the way down the length here, this whole section here can be removed. We'll do the same thing over here on this edge here, and pop the two screws there on the end of that angled brace, and this whole section will be removable and able to be stored, thus leaving us with this center section on the main frame, which has been screwed from the front side. We don't want to cut or disassemble it any further. So that's the plan for reconstruction. Again, you can see I have everything labeled, both where this board here is used to tie in the three pieces, B1, B2, B3, so it shows you the positioning of that board, and then the actual sections of this spacer board. Of course, we're looking at B3. And for all sections, I have drawn a match line so that we can position it accurately, and from the back side, which is how we'll reassemble this, you'll be able to read it B1, B2, B3, and it does match the blueprint.